What's up, leaders? Hey, super excited to jump in. Just a quick training. Hope you're doing super well. But I've been challenging students more and more, especially in the Dollar Leadership Club, to set goals every single week. Identify your targets. Like, what are you going to help make happen? What results are you going to get? And I've loved it because we've started seeing some good results of, like, whether that's, I want to finish that book that I started, I want to take more walks, I want to, work on this, work on that, meet people at this, like all that kind of stuff, right? Like, students are starting to be more intentional about what they're trying to do. Now, what I love about that is the habit and the mindset of just being more intentional about your time. Yes, like those that don't set goals are able to get success because you can get there eventually. But what we're trying to do is identify what we're going to try to set the roadmap for you for your week before it happens. And that's just such a valuable skill. Because it's one thing, like, think about walking through a city. Right now I'm in San Antonio, and if I wanted to get from the convention center back to my hotel, I could get there eventually, like from memory, or like from what I felt like was right, or like seeing it, from a distance up in the skyline, that kind of thing. Like I could get there. But what is completely different is if I looked up the map, I saw the path, and then was able to follow it, I would get there so much faster, right? Statistically speaking, I might get there faster without looking at the map eventually. Like, try 100 times, probably one of those I'd get there faster than the map. But regularly, okay, that's what we're trying to do. And so that hotel success map, laying out the map at the start of the week to having a successful week is such a valuable skill for you to have. Now, when you do this, when you set these goals, it's important to focus on the great things. It's important to first get in the right mindset, and then important for you to be able to get into the flow of not just setting goals of identifying results that you want to focus on, but identifying the action that you need to take to make it happen. Okay, so it's not just results that we need to be focused on. We have to be focused on the action too. I always look at it as like, we can live in the clouds, look up at our lofty goals, at our high goals, or like how amazing it's going to be when we get there. Even in shorter term, at the end of the week, man, it's going to be so good when I get that project done. But we also need to be focused in the dirt, having our hands in the dirt. That's what a mentor of mine on social media, his name's Gary V. That's what he always talks about, clouds in the dirt. Look up in the clouds, be inspired, but work in the dirt every single day. And so how do you set these goals? Okay, and so I created just a little bit of a worksheet. And this worksheet is something that I think can really help practice. Again, when you're trying to develop new habits, when you're trying to get into a new mindset, you have to give yourself more structure. You have to give yourself the training wheels to learn how to ride the bike, right? And so that's what this worksheet can be. I don't expect you to have to use this forever. You could probably get through it a couple of weeks, and then you're in the flow, and off and away you go. But start with it now, okay? And just try it. I know it's new, I know it means it's extra, but so is putting on training wheels and putting on the helmet and the elbow pads and whatever else, when you just start out learning, because you need it. That's how you get traction, and that's how you get that success faster. Okay, so this worksheet, it has a few sections. It has 5 in total. And this first section is more to help you get into that right mindset. It's to more help you just like, okay, like I just sat down from whatever, right? Having dinner with the family, or like going out with friends, coming back from school, whatever. And so now you're gonna kind of clear your head and get into the right mindset of helping you figure out what goals that you want to set for this next week, and how you want to do that. And so the first section is the previous week review, okay? And so just real quick, write down some highlights, real quick, just flow through your mind like watching the tape, like rewind it back, and just like what happened, like ace that test, missed that assignment, went on this trip, met this person, like whatever. It does not have to be like only results based. It's just your general impression from last week. Okay, and now we're getting into a flow of like, okay, like what happened, what, where was I, what did I do, all that kind of stuff. Now, the second section, this one, is something that I have found so helpful for me, of just helping me to shift my focus and get back into the right state of mind on focusing on what I want. And so I call it the Focus 5, okay? And so there's 3 sections. You got to write 5 things for each section, okay? And you've got to write 5 things. And so the first one at the top of that list is, I am grateful for what? Now list them out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? These can be the first things that come to your mind. They can be things, they can be people, they can be experiences, whatever, okay? I can't dictate that for you. It's whatever you feel like you're grateful for. But again, we're getting back into that flow state of what we see as most important and what we see that we're grateful for. So again, that could be an opportunity, an experience that you had just this past week, somebody you've met, somebody you've always had in your life, something you've always had in your life, something just like personally that you feel like you're gifted with or whatever, right? But what are you grateful for, okay? The second line on that section is, I am proud of what, okay? 5 things. Again, buckle down and do this. Be intentional about it. Focus in and identify them. So many students, when I ask them, and like we're having like a real conversation, it's not just like random to catch them off guard, but like having like a coaching conversation. And I say, like, tell me what are you proud of? And it's amazing how long it can take some of us to come up with things that we feel like we're proud of. And we got to get in a better habit of that. It's okay to feel positive about like our success and to have that in the forefront of our mind, because we need that as a confidence booster every once in a while. And so I am proud of what, okay? So that third section in the Focus 5, okay? 5 things. I am excited about what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? And that could be anything forward thinking, just anything. You got a trip to Disneyland, you are gonna see, you know, your friend again, whatever. Like there's a project that you're working on that you're excited to get done, a presentation you have, a competition that you have, a game you have, anything. 5 things you're excited about. I mean, it can be even like far off in the future if that's what is on your mind right now. But identify what those things are. 5 things that you're excited about. And so now, like, we've reviewed the week, we've thought about, you know, like where our focus should be, and we're focused on gratitude. We've got things that you're proud of. Like, what we're trying to do is put your focus on evaluating yourself, so like improvement. We're focused on gratitude. And so, I mean, the attitude of gratitude is just such a powerful tool for the most successful people, and it's something that we have to try to adopt today, right? And we're trying to focus on achievement. That's in our mindset of like, you know what have I achieved? What have I been able to accomplish? I'm proud of this. And then things that we're excited about, we're trying to get enthusiasm into us, and that's so important. Nothing great ever happened without enthusiasm. And so we got to think about those things. We got to focus on them and be able to make those things happen. So now we're ready to jump into some goals, okay? Now we're ready to jump into those goals. Now, these goals are different than your weekly to-do list. I want that to be clear. They're 2 separate things, okay? Your weekly to-do list is dictated by your schedule of like, okay, you know, like I've got this class on this day and this assignment is due, so that goes on the to-do list. I've got this meeting and I need to have this ready, and so that goes on the to-do list. Like, okay, cool. I get that. Those are things that you need to do each week, but they aren't necessarily your goals. A goal could be to accomplish everything on your to-do list, but we're talking about elevating more than just what the average do. Any average student can have that to-do list because they're taking the same classes, they can be involved in the same clubs, stuff like that. But you are trying to grow and gain more and have bigger goals. So here's the way that I like to break these things down. I call them G3, okay? This is a G3 worksheet, and so again, here it is, these bottom 3 sections that we're gonna go through, and here's how this will break down. So the first section is growth, okay? In what ways will you grow? So what will you do this week to advance your growth? And so we got to talk about personal growth. We got to talk about like helping fill yourself maybe with more energy. So maybe that's, you know, your diet, exercise, more sleep, that kind of stuff, water, drinking more water, okay? We got to think about like maybe just positivity. How are you going to grow in that positivity? Maybe you're reading a book that's trying to help you be more motivated about things. Maybe you're reading, you know, some blog posts, listening to a podcast, like you want to be able to make that happen. But things that you're going to do to help yourself grow as a person, okay? And so identify some of those things. The next section, next G2 is gains, okay? The gains are still like, what will you acquire, learn, or like get or see more of, okay? So like, what are you trying to to grow that's not yourself, right? So the growth ones are all about growing you as a person, maybe your mindset, maybe your energy, maybe your attitude, like maybe, you know, that kind of stuff. But gains is like, okay, now what will you acquire? You know, and so maybe that's where like our habits are, okay? So that's where like, you know, I'm gonna be better at personal organization, right? Like I'm gonna map out that to-do list. I'm gonna make sure I have a to-do list every single day. Okay, in that last section, the bottom, are goals. Okay, what results or achievements will you make happen this week? What results or achievements will you make happen this week? And that's where we got to put the rubber to the road, am I right? Like that's like big to-do items. So go ahead and pull from your to-do list to identify some things on there. That could be other things too, but just like straight results and achievements. Anything that you know didn't want to put on the other sections, you didn't feel like it fit, or just more things that, you know, over the top. On top of that, you have another growth goal, you have another gain that you want to get. But what are some of those goals? Those are results focused, those are achievement focused. You're gonna go get them and make that happen. And so all together on this worksheet, you've talked about last week, you've reviewed it, right? You've identified 5 things you're grateful for, you've identified 5 things you're proud of, you've identified 5 things you're enthusiastic about, that you're excited about coming ahead. And now we're able to get into the goals and identifying those targets for the week. And so how are you gonna grow? You've got them. What are you gonna gain? You've got those. And what goals do you have? You've got those. Now you'll notice the last piece on this worksheet is that you've got 2 columns underneath growth, gains, and goals. And what those 2 columns are for is that first one is you put down that result, okay? This is the result that I want to make happen. But so many of us just stop there, where you say like, wow, wouldn't it be cool if, like, or you know what I want to do? I want to do this. And that's cool, but how are you going to do it? So first, identify what that result is that you want, and then take it one step further and identify an action step. And this can just be quick for now, but you have to shift your focus towards the action that you're going to take to make the result happen. Okay, don't just stop by identifying results that you want. Only stop after you've identified the action that you're gonna take. I could look at the map from here back to my hotel, but until I get up and start walking, I will never get there. And so you look at your map, but then get up and move. Okay, utilize this worksheet. I'm excited to hear the results that come from it. I'm excited to hear what you think. And so let me know, keep me posted, and we'll talk soon. Hey, thanks for tuning into this training. I forgot to mention you can download your own copy of this worksheet by heading to my website. This link will take it to you. Hey, thanks for tuning into this training. I forgot to mention you can download your own copy of this worksheet by heading to my website. This link will take it to you.